Hi, my name is Sierra, and today for this oral presentation, I will be discussing animals, more specifically pets, in disasters. To start off with, everyone most likely has some type of pet of their own that they love and adore, no matter what breed, what size, what type, and we care deeply for our animals. As humans, we have a very deep connection with our pets, and we treat them as more than just what they are. We treat them as our babies, basically a part of our family. And when something bad happens, or whenever any type of disaster strikes, we want to do whatever we can in our power to be able to protect them. Unfortunately, more than when disaster does strike, annually, more than 40 million animals are affected by these natural disasters to some degree. When it comes to protection of animals, it wasn't really a priority prior to 2005. When Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005, there were 50,000 pets that were left behind due to the evacuations in the New Orleans area. Unfortunately, there was an 80 to 90% mortality rate in these pets. At the time when Hurricane Katrina took place in the summer of 2005, FEMA had a policy that basically stated that if you were forced to evacuate your home, then you were not able to take your pets with you. And that is something that no pet owner wants to hear, that your pet has to face something alone, something as catastrophic alone. And as a result of this, 44% of the New Orleans population that had pets made the executive decision to stay at home with their pets so they did not have to be alone during this drastic storm. And post Hurricane Katrina, there was a lot of help. Over 5,000 volunteers that helped with one of the largest search and rescue missions in U.S. history, which rescued over 15,000 pets and returned them to their owners. As a result of Hurricane Katrina, there was a lot of changes that people needed to see in the government, federal, all levels, on how pets should be treated during these natural crises. The organization ASPA, for example, came up with this approach, this 3-step approach on how to address animals in disasters. The first step would be national research and assessment, which is basically assessing the area, the local and the community, and finding the weakness and strengths of the response teams and seeing what could be changed. The second step is your resource identification and typing, which is basically making sure that the community has the resources that it needs during the natural disaster before the disaster hits. And of course, you have capacity building and training, which is educating people in the community on how to deal with these large scale situations, and dealing with the pets there as well. Right after Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005, George Bush ordered that the recommendations as a result of the emergency response of the federal government needed to be reviewed. So the feedback that they were receiving needed to be reviewed so that they can figure out how to better the emergency management on the federal level. This is when the Pets Act of 2006 became in place, which basically states that now, during the state of evacuation, if need be, all levels, local, state, and federal, need to come up with some type of emergency plan and evacuation plan for all pets and all elderly peoples. Yes, so as you can see, there has been a lot of changes when it comes to animals and the emergency response plan revolving around them in times of crisis. And thank you so much for listening, and here are the references below.